Minnesota awards $53 million in broadband funding, $20 million in CPF grants for Pennsylvania. The state of Vermont launches a fiber tech training program, and legislation in Virginia aimed at easing network expansion spats between EMCs and ISPs. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Craig Corbin. Pennsylvania's Digital Access Opportunity Grant Program will distribute $20 million in an effort to increase access to end-user devices across the Commonwealth. The grant was approved by the U.S. Department of the Treasury Capital Projects Fund. Laptops, tablets, desktop computers, and Wi-Fi devices will be made available through the loan programs administered by community anchor institutions. Previous ARPA funding for Pennsylvania totals nearly $245 million, with better than $200 million going to the Broadband Infrastructure Program. A pair of broadband grant programs in Minnesota made sizable awards this week, $33 million from the Border-to-Border Broadband Program and nearly $20 million in the Low Population Density Program. Federated Telephone Cooperative receiving the largest border-to-border grant, $8.2 million. Albany Mutual Telephone Association with the next largest award, $7.1 million. Mediacom won a pair of grants totaling just shy of $1 million. Midco received an award of more than $800,000. Largest grants from the Low Population Density Program went to Arvig and Bevcom, $4 million each. A total of 24 awards were made between the two programs. The Minnesota Office of Broadband Development is responsible for administering both of the grant programs. Broadband legislation from Virginia's General Assembly could help smooth over disputes between ISPs and electric cooperatives in the Commonwealth of Virginia about who should pay for associated infrastructure deployment costs and how long it should take. Virginia's House of Delegates and Senate combined separate bills on the subject last week. The issue, disagreements about the time it takes for utilities to approve work required to allow ISPs to string cable across utility poles and who has to pay for outdated poles or the addition of new ones. Compromise has mitigated the co-op's three main concerns: increased rates to consumers for replacing poles, nullification of existing contracts, and danger to co-op workers tying additional cable onto existing ones, a method known as overlashing. The final compromise bill now awaits consideration by Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. You heard last week about the letter to the Federal Communications Commission requesting RDOF and CAF II amnesty. Now the FCC's Wireline Competition Bureau has opened a public comment period soliciting responses to that letter. A coalition of 69 ISPs, trade associations, state and local officials, and unions made the request for a short amnesty period, allowing them to relinquish all or part of their winning areas without penalty. Concerns are growing about some providers not fulfilling their RDOF and CAF II obligations. Comments are due by March the 26th, reply comments by April the 9th. In other FCC-related news, the Commission releasing results of a survey showing that 2/3 of affordable connectivity program households will experience service disruptions if the program ends. ACP has 23 million recipients. That's about 1 of every 6 households in the country. 29% of those surveyed indicated that they would drop their service if the benefit ends. The FCC, of course, formally announcing that April will be the last full month for the Affordable Connectivity Program, barring any last-minute action from Congress. By March 19th, providers must send ACP households written notice that the program is ending, with an explanation of how service and billing will be impacted. CTIA, which represents the U.S. wireless communications industry, is accusing the cable industry of lobbying against global allocation of 5G spectrum in order to slow down expansion of fixed wireless access broadband. It's a battle of the blog posts, with CTIA saying that cable lobbyists are posting disingenuous or inaccurate statements about the spectrum allocation process, and then a cable-backed group, Spectrum for the Future, posting that Wireless companies are just looking to pursue old-school approaches to spectrum licensing that would reinforce dominance of Chinese equipment from companies like Huawei. With workforce development a growing concern, there's now a new fiber tech training program just days from getting underway, thanks to the state of Vermont's Community Broadband Board. Registrations are being accepted for the Broadband Installer Apprenticeship Training Program set to begin March 16th virtually. In-person classes will be added in the near future. Vermont is utilizing educational materials and certification from the Fiber Broadband Association's Optic Path program, which was launched in 2022. Vermont joins 39 other states in rolling out Optic Path, along with 44 service providers and 70 community colleges and training institutions. The course includes 120 hours of instruction, 40 of them virtual, and 80 hours hands-on in class. Trainees engage in splicing fiber optic cables, how a system is built, and how to test and troubleshoot. The course is being funded with a grant from the Vermont Labor Department. And finally, Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to use sports to bring a little life back to the True TV network. Nonstop episodes of Impractical Jokers will now be replaced by a nightly sports block of programming featuring simulcasts of NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA games that are carried on the company's flagship TBS and TNT cable networks. The new block launches March the 11th, just in time for March Madness right around the corner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in the Broadband Universe.